Hi everyone, Gerard Scarpesi here, co-founder of the Hairbrain community on a really big weekend in New York City. It's the HVA 6 weekend where we'll be giving out our awards at a fabulous show on Sunday night. But before we get to that, we've got some great education coming up today. And I think we've got a few more over the weekend. But we're starting off at a high with Naja. Hey Naja.
Hey, how are you?
Great, and this is her beautiful model Naima. Say hi Naima.
Hi.
Naja's going to be sharing something that we always get incredible feedback about. It's working to create wave and texture, and in this case just using traditional, somewhat traditional flat irons, but at different sizes. So this is something, whenever we post this on Instagram or Facebook and we show the process of creating wave and texture on short hair, people go crazy about it. Naja is really well known for this technique, and we'll talk about her salon in Atlanta and how they're successful with this type of styling and really get to know all about that. But let's learn the technique right off the bat from Naja, creating waves on a pixie.
Hi, well, let's see, to do this is like the best haircut to have. First of all, it's so super easy, but a lot of times, women still want to look soft. Pixie haircuts are, sometimes they could look hard depending on how they're cut and if they're buzzed off and that kind of thing. But I use an iron, and I'm going to start just with a really good hot iron, which is my H2 Pro, and I don't know if this.
So that's super tiny. Let's see. That says it's just 3/10, right? That's the
yes.
H2 3/10.
So you're gonna hold your head down, Naima.
And are the plates, are they rounded a little bit, or are they totally flat?
They are. They're kind of
yeah.
concave. They're
actually one
concave.
side. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I get it.
So what I'm doing is going to create a back and forth curl that actually will sit almost like in a wave. So it's going to add so much texture to this hair. And the key is like see how we're creating. Remember how we used to have to create those waves in school, in cosmetology school?
The finger wave?
The finger waves, but
you get a big gallon of gel,
right?
Queen
Exactly.
Helene gel,
oh my God, you remember
scoop
that?
it in there and you'd slap it on.
And you'd have yes. But we're going to do this with. Look how beautiful that is. We're creating this with an iron.
All right, so it looks like you're working across the head almost diagonally across the top.
Yes.
And you're taking very fine sections with a tail comb.
Yes.
And then with this special that, now again, let me get the name right. This is the H2 Pro Beauty Life 3/10 Black Diamond Iron. So is this the smallest one?
This is the smallest one. It's very tiny for these kind of pixie haircuts. And you must have enough product on this hair in order to create these waves perfectly.
And now, you're going in different directions with each one? Is it like left, right?
Yeah, it's like left, right. Yes, it is. Back and forth. So one goes one way and the other one comes in another direction. But you have to think of a wave as you're doing it. You have to, just keep a wave in mind, because that's what you're creating.
Like the river, right?
Like the river.
That's where it comes from?
That's the name of the salon, yes.
So that's your salon in Atlanta. We'll talk about that. But first, we have a few questions. So Liz Bumgardner is wondering what styling product you use and is it important? You were talking already about how important the product is, but let's review.
Well, on these, to get this hair to slip, like make it very slip and back and forth and shiny, we use our signature D oil, and I use a little bit of the TG wax stick, I have to say and admit, but our signature product is the D oil.
So this is your own product?
This is our own.
Is that this one here?
Yes.
The amber, this
yep,
one here?
that's it. That's the exotic
So this is
blend.
your product?
That is our product, where you can get it on our website at liketheriver.com. But that's made of grapeseed oil base. It has lavender, rosemary, lemongrass in it. It's amazing.
Smells wonderful. Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's creating the slickness in the hair. Of course, the shine as well.
All right. Another question coming in from Chantel Cox: is Naima's hair relaxed?
She is relaxed. She's relaxed. Texture is key and critical. As a hairdresser, you need to know the difference between textures and what the hair can do and can't do. A lot of our clients are always asking, oh, can I get the waves? Waves are really popular with our salon, and that's what we're really known for in short hair. But you got to know texture. Texture is key to determining whether a client can actually wear this style. So
Awesome.
yeah, she's relaxed.
And in general, you know, do you think relaxers have come a long way? I can remember, I have pretty curly hair, and I remember as a teenager relaxing my hair, and even throughout my life I've had to relax at different points, and
Wow.
it would just get a little like lifeless, but I feel like things have gotten so much better.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, so much better. I mean, we're not doing what we did years ago, and the scalps are falling off. A lot of
Well,
times.
I was going to bring that up. The first time I did it,
Oh
I
my
did it
God.
myself in high school, and I put so much Revlon extra.
Oh
and
my
I put
God.
it right on my, and
You-
I had a scab across
Oh
my whole
my
forehead.
God.
Don't do that at home.
Don't, please
I was,
don't do
you know,
that.
go to a professional cosmetologist who knows how to keep you safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of times we get, because we're doing this stuff at home, that's why most of we had a
Yep.
lot of issues with the relaxers, but now today we don't have those problems.
Yeah, I learned, and that's why I said, you know what, maybe I should go to school and become a professional and do this right.
Wow.
So we have a great question from Mike Adam Turpin. Do you do a foam set first? It says he's pretty comfortable with the top, but has a hard time on the shorter areas in the perimeter.
Okay, so we do a foam set. We use a foam, and you can use a foam of your choice. You can use a mousse or a foam to really get this hair slick and smooth. So everything that you see like laying down like this, it's we molded her first and then put her under the dryer for about 30 minutes. And so this is going to create that smooth, and really it's going to help your styling. You know, this is key. The actual mold is key to your styling. So you want to get her molded and under the dryer. So that's going to be a little time though. Clients don't like sitting under the dryer.
Yeah, look, can we talk about booking and charging? You know, now Naja owns a salon, so she's doing this day in, day out. This isn't just for the camera.
Right.
Has a really busy clientele and really known in Atlanta as one of the top salons, and tell us about that. And then also tell us about the practicality. So if Naima was your client, and how often would she come in for a haircut? Did she come in for a styling once a week? How do you book it? How do you charge for it? It's all that stuff that maybe a lot of people don't know exactly what to do.
Right. Well, Naima would be, we specialize in a lot of short hair. So you know what? They come more often than your color clients. They come more often than your longer hair clients, because short hair grows pretty fast and it has to be maintained and outlined. So she would be like a weekly client that will come in for shampoo, styling. We may do a partial relaxer on her.
Now, let's talk about that for a minute, because this is a huge business point. If you've got a weekly clientele, I mean, and you've got, let's just say some of them don't come in all the time, but if you've got 65 people that are like diehard dedicated to you, and most of them are coming in weekly,
Yeah.
you're done. You're like busy all the time, right?
Busy all the time.
If you're just, you know, the average hairdresser that doesn't have weeklies needs like 400 clients in their book to be busy all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yes,
different-
it's a whole different world when you have weekly clients. You get paid a lot more, a lot more
And
money.
you also have to build deeper relationships, I think, if
You
you're seeing
do.
someone every week.
Yeah, sometimes we have clients that come in twice a week.
Wow.
With this short hair. So yeah, I mean, they've got to maintain it, and I wouldn't say it's like a high maintenance. However, you know, women want to look great with short hair.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, how would you book for this? Is this a 45-minute appointment? Is it an hour? Because I know there's a preset and like a wrap that
This
you did.
would be probably about an hour and a half.
Should be in the salon total an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half, max two. Max two. If she just comes in to get it shampooed and styled, she'd have to go under the dryer. The dryer prop is the longest time. She's got to usually sit up under there for
So
about
you
45
kind of like wrap the booking. She comes in, sees you, or an assistant shampoos her. You do some kind of, you do like the setting first.
I
She
do.
goes, dries. Maybe you work on somebody else.
Yep. While
Yeah.
she's under the dryer, then I've got my next one coming in that I need to wrap. My shampoo assistant will shampoo her and get her all ready for me to mold. And molding is key. Yeah.
A lot of love coming in here. I've seen the word beautiful over and over again. Perfect, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Rahila, for the love. Jacinta is wondering about the heat on the iron, and also if you can tell us where the iron is from. Everything you can about that iron.
Well, this is an H2 Pro iron. And actually, if you are a hairdresser and you're going to be in town in New York this weekend, oh my God, you got to go to IBS and get this iron. This is an H2 Pro. It is a 3/10 inch.
And I'm sure they have a huge variety of sizes.
Yes, they have a huge variety, but to create this waved look, this is the one that you need. And you need to be careful. Please don't burn your clients either.
So any tips with that? Because, I mean, obviously that hair there is, that's maybe less than an inch long. You're taking a baby fine section. How do you get in there without burning?
Practice. It's all practice, you know,
There's
skill.
no trick, it's just skill.
It's skill, and you just cannot burn your client up. I've had, can I just say this, that I had a client come in, she was like, I stopped going to my last hairdresser because every week she'd burn me with the iron.
Yeah.
You can't burn your clients
Yeah,
up.
that's a problem.
You cannot burn
That's
them up.
definitely a problem.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about cost. Now, I know you're in Atlanta, a major metropolitan city.
Right.
You know, how do you price something like this? And, you know, what's the range, so to speak, that you think someone can charge?
This particular style, anywhere between $65 and $75 for the shampoo style.
Right.
Sometimes with waving, since a lot of people come in, we do charge a little extra because this is like technical. So we're really trying to create a look, and this is almost like a style, you know, just a creative style. So it does take longer, and we do charge them a little extra.
Now, as you work your way down into these shorter hairs, does all the waving go in the same direction, or
It's going to go back.
You're going
and
like
forth.
left to right.
So
left
that, yes,
to right.
we're going to create that whole. You can see it in here, very detailed. I'm sorry. Yep.
Here.
There you go. And sometimes I'll stop right now, like I'm gonna not stop, but I'm gonna put more product on really quick.
What made you know that it was time to put more product in?
Because I like this hair to just gloss. I see a couple of flyaways that may have gotten loose, and so I feel like this needs to kind of get really tapered in and smoothed over.
And you're using a little bit of your own oil?
A little bit of the D oil, yes.
Why is it called D oil?
Oh, it's
Delightful? The lovely?
delicious.
The gorgeous?
Really, it has a really meaningful reason behind it. It's actually named after my sister that passed away about 5 years ago. She had came down with a rare cancer, and the first thing, my sister was a professional in New York. She worked in New York in advertising, and her first thing was like, I don't want to lose my hair. And so I said, well, you got to start using grapeseed oil, because grapeseed oil is going to save your hair. It's a good a product that they put in a lot of like hair growth and hair loss products. So we started doing some research. She started using it, and when she passed away, she had all of her hair on her head. So we named.
It's a beautiful story.
We came up and we just named it after her.
It's nice to see there's so much meaning, even in your product, which is deep.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about your background, because I was thrilled to learn that you started your career with one of my hair heroes, Van Council at the Van Michael Salon in Atlanta.
Oh my God.
Anyone out there who doesn't know Van Council, you should follow him. You should check out Van Michael. I have a signature line that I always say about Van: he is the best salon owner in the world. So
I
that
agree.
means the happiest staff, the busiest business.
Ooh.
He makes a ton of money, and so do the people that work for him, and he just happens to be a great person. And you started your career there. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I started out as a hair salon assistant. I just always had a passion for hair, so I'm like, I've got to go find the best place to work in. So it was in Buckhead in Atlanta. I was actually working in corporate at the time, going to...
So what do you mean by corporate? You weren't a hairdresser? You didn't start hairdressing at a young age, or?
Well, yeah, I would say like 7 years old. I was doing all of my sisters,
Family stuff.
all the family stuff. And then one day I just kept I used to keep a journal. So anyway, I started working. Corporate America was like boring, hated it. So I found a salon while I was going to hair school at night. And I found a salon to work in, and it was Van Michael in Buckhead. And I learned so much just from being an assistant that I was like, you know what, this is going to be my career. I just love the consistency, the professionalism, everything that Van stands for in his business, which you said he's the greatest salon owner in the world. And I wanted to create, when I was there, something for African American salons, and that was my truth. And I was like, we don't have salons like this that look like this, and I'm like, why? And so I went on my search.
Your perception was that there needed to be like an upgrade.
There needed to be an upgrade in the industry, particularly towards African American salons. And
Do you feel that it's evolved more since that time?
Oh, for sure. And I really honestly feel that I've led that way. We've owned our salon for 10 years. I've had a lot of stylists come through, and I've gotten a lot of write-ups about how great the salon is and professional.
What was that point of difference? What did you feel needed to be added? Because, we know there was a lot of great hairdressing going on. There has been forever.
Yeah.
What did you feel that the salon needed upgrading in?
Professionalism. Hairdressers need to come to work on time.
Right. And this is the same everywhere, at every salon.
Well, it's like different levels. But they needed to be more professional. They needed to take this more serious. This is a career. This is a lifestyle and not just your gig. When you after partying, you just come and start doing hair.
Right.
So I came from that corporate background,
right.
So I wanted to incorporate that from learning at Van Michael Salon.
What did you do in the corporate world?
I was a insurance adjuster.
Perfect.
Boring.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, but you take what you learn there,
Yeah.
put it with creative hairdressing, put it with what you learned from Van.
Right.
And now you've got this incredibly successful salon like The River in Atlanta.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
There's a question coming in from Corey Elizabeth. She's wondering, how long did it take you to come up from being an assistant to owning your own salon?
When I started in 2005, I got my license. I opened my salon in 2008. So
You went quick.
3 years.
Yeah.
I think because I always had the passion for it. I think that's why I always talk to hairdressers. I'll be at Leading Ladies and talking about at IBS this weekend, talking about.
Excellent. So that's Leading Ladies
passion.
is a panel of women in the industry that are doing things, making moves, doing incredible things, and you're on that panel now.
I'm
Fantastic.
on that
I
panel.
hadn't even heard that, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so I went 3 years. Like 3 years was my max, and because I loved it so much that it just came to me very quickly. I started building a great clientele, and I opened my salon.
Naja, this is looking beautiful. It's just so effortless the way that you kind of create that texture and movement. Anybody watching at home, if you have questions for Naja about the technique, about her career, about her salon, about the business, I think there's a lot of really interesting things to talk about. Now, I bring up something that it's a little controversial, but I bring it up a lot. I think that the hair industry and churches are the only two things that are still segregated. Yeah, I think that there are black salons and white salons, and I think that there, I got the church thing from Kia. We were working together because, Kia's, she said churches are still like that too, and I said, you know what, maybe you're right. Now, I think it's a terrible thing because just from being a pure businessman, like if I had maybe 20% of my client was African American, 20%. Imagine the standing appointments. You can make more money.
You can make more money.
Let's just talk about business. You can make more money. And all it comes down to is education.
Education, that's all.
I'm learning. I've now seen people do variations of this technique over the past year a couple of times. I'm learning how to do it. I definitely is something that I can add to my skill set. It doesn't matter what color you are. You can do any hair texture
hair
if you
is
learn.
Hair is hair, and you can learn it. You can learn texture. I think, we were just talking about that, and you have to keep yourself educated. And I kind of think it starts on school level, too. We don't think that, some of us don't think that we can do Caucasian hair, and then Caucasian don't think
even
they can do,
Asian. I know
or
plenty,
Asian, or
plenty of
mixed
people that are afraid
hair.
to do this, to do that.
Yeah.
But the knowledge destroys fear, like my good buddy DJ says. It's like, if I
Right.
sat with you and I took a class with you, and you taught me this, and I did it with my hands, and you showed me,
Right.
I think I could learn how to do this,
Right.
for sure.
You can. It's
Yep.
easy. The Pixie Wave, is that what we called it?
The Pixie Wave.
Pixie
Looks
Wave.
fantastic. I mean, it's just, I've seen a couple versions of this, but something about yours just looks so much more organic.
Thank you.
Meaning, like, as I look at it on the screen, it doesn't look so forced.
Wow, it
Is there
looks
any
amazing.
kind of like tip there? Is it because of the way you undulate back and forth?
It's the back and forth. It's the size of the iron to really get in there. The heat of the iron. It's all of those combinations, but also it's that wrist. It's the power of that wrist, and then what you're
Are
creating.
you using a lot of tension, or is it very gentle?
It's kind of gentle.
Very gentle.
Kinda
It's just
gentle.
the heat and the
It's the heat.
convex. Are they convex, concave?
Yeah, the concave, and also the product. It's the product. You should have product in your hand. See how that shine is just really.
Yeah, like on the ridge.
Yes, yes.
Question coming in from Tiffany K. How is this look maintained? Is it something that Naima can maintain at home? When
I
she goes
always
to sleep. What does she do?
Yeah, I tell my clients to sleep on a silk pillowcase, and
That's what I do.
that's all they need to do.
You don't have to wrap it?
No wrapping. Wrapping will destroy the hair.
And then is there anything that she would need to do in the morning specifically, or is it
No,
just good
just
to go?
rub some product. Now, as it goes, like it's nice and play. So she was going to an evening event or a wedding. This is like perfect hair. However, if she wants to get a little rock and roll with it, a couple days later, she could just kind of push this up with a little wax stick and just make it really kind of messy. So it'll have a lot of texture, but it'll still be in that wave.
I want to get it around so you can see how
Yeah.
beautiful it's looking on her face. Because
Yes.
even just those little bits that you did on the front hairline, it
Yeah.
just took it to the next level.
And then that's really important. I'm going to show you just a couple little details on how to keep it. This is my wax stick that I like to use.
That's the TG.
That's that
bedhead stick?
TG,
Yep.
yes.
So just sharing some love here. Shauna Brundridge says seamless, beautiful work. Felicia Wimbish says you do beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. We see that word coming in a lot, which is obvious. There was a question. What is the name of the oil you've been using?
Oh, that's the D oil. That's our D oil, which you can get on our website at liketheriver.com.
And that's the name of your salon.
That's
Like
our
the River.
signature. Like the River is our salon name, and you can get that oil right from there. And these details will help with, like, the wax stick will really help with really defining. And I like to just turn it a little bit in the mirror to see beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, can we talk just a little bit about cutting? Because we were
Yeah.
talking earlier. I know you trained at Van Michael. You said you've been to Sassoon. So
Yes.
you've learned some real great precision cutting. What's your philosophy with cutting hair in general? Do you work dry? Do you work wet to dry? Like, what are some of your tips? Again, back to that fear factor. If someone maybe has never cut African American hair or relaxed hair, and someone comes in and they sit in their chair, like, what are some tips to get started? Because to me, cutting is cutting. If you understand shape, you can figure it all out. But then there's these little things. Should I straighten it and cut it dry? Should I do it wet? What are your thoughts?
Sometimes when you're moving hair around, I have this thing where the hair speaks to me, so I kind of work basically organically. I think when you get a lot of textured hair, you definitely have to make sure it's smooth. Smooth finishing on textured hair is so key. So my cutting, I usually cut on dry hair. I usually cut on dry hair, and that way I'm able to see it.
So even if
with
there's
texture.
no relaxer, you'll kind of smooth that hair out, maybe do like a wrap or use an iron,
Right.
and then cut the shape and
If
dry.
they're not relaxed, definitely have to get them straight first. We have to smooth them somehow. If that's straightening, or if their hair is enough texture that's soft enough to wave and go under, or mold and put under the dryer. But you definitely have to straighten out textured hair first in order to start cutting and doing anything on it. So I like to cut dry, and then so that way I can really see what's happening with
And
the hair.
do you cut a real precise shape when it's dry? Do you cut like club cut
No, I
angles
kind
and shape?
of
Or
no. I just
chipping?
kind of go in and kind of outline, and then once I mold, because normally I do short hair, all short hair. I don't really get anybody coming in to me for long hair. I'm known for that. So once I get the outline in, I'll mold her and get her under the dryer to get her really straight, and then I go back in and start really perfecting my lines and precision cutting.
All right, so again, lots of love coming in. Juliet Harewood is wondering if Naima's hair is relaxed.
She is relaxed.
Yeah, I think we established that it was
Yeah,
relaxed.
she's relaxed. And she's got a beautiful, she could probably go natural, but she's so short. And we get those questions all the time. I'm natural, can I go short? And most times, it just depends on the texture. You need a consultation to see. Clients are always talking about, I don't want a relaxer. I want to stay natural. But to have this look, sometimes you need an assessment. You need to see whether that's going to work, because the hair will just either puff back up or
Right, it'll revert quickly if it's got.
exactly.
Yeah.
It'll revert.
So you do all this work, and she goes outside. It's a little humid,
and it's done.
Yeah.
And it's done. Yeah.
Donna Brown says she's so in love with this look. I love your passion for textured hair. What
Oh.
advice can you give for a stylist who wants to open a salon for natural hair?
What advice do I give? You need to practice. You need to learn textured hair. You would have to just understand hair texture. getting in there, knowing what the hair can do and what it won't do. I think it's more needed too, but I think those are on like school levels. You got to learn in school, but practice on some textured hair. You can do it. I think those are natural hair salons are needed more. We have some, but I think it's
So again, if
necessary.
people aren't familiar with that terminology, that means like unrelaxed hair.
Right.
Maybe that's not straightened, kind of treated more natural.
Right.
We've got our great friend, the Mona Cut. She's kind of known for doing stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
And you know, there's something for everyone. I'd say do something that you really love.
Right.
You know, so
Find your niche.
Yeah,
you know.
find your niche.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what like Mona helps people maybe transition from relaxed back to natural.
Right.
And she's made a big business on that. You know, she's got a way of cutting and a way of talking to people.
Right.
You know, where you're working very often with relaxed hair, but also natural, I'm assuming.
Right.
Yeah.
I work with both. I work with both.
All right, so again, if you can tell us about the iron, there's lots of questions. What is it and where can people get it?
This is an H2 Pro iron, and they have it at the IBS Hair Show this weekend.
Here in New York City.
Here in New York. You can also get it at beautylife.com, right? That's the website, beautylife.com. You can get this, but this is an H2 Pro 3/10 inch. It's very small, and it's a concave, but it works amazing. And I think this one goes to 450, yes. And just because the irons go to 450, that doesn't mean you need to take it to 450.
What he did, so you assess the texture and then determine how
Yes,
much heat
because
you take?
sometimes you can burn that hair. A lot of times clients are burning their hair out, even stylists, I have to say. Hairdressers are burning.
Right.
But you need to just because it goes to 450 doesn't mean take it. So I have a setting for about 425, you know, because I want this to really have a nice polished look.
So it looks like you've got it all in now. You're doing some detailing. Let's get some action on the crown here. I'm going to bring you around this
Yeah.
way. So it looks like you were just kind of going through there and doing some detail work. What are you
Yep.
looking for?
I'm looking for any holes or spaces that might be here. I want more detail. I want more shine. See if I take this iron and go over one more time on it, it gives an amazing shine. And it's very coy. Sometimes I like to kind of mess it up. I'm like, you know, more product in the hand. You can never have too much product on like a set like this. Waves need oil. It needs
Is
product.
there any type of product you wouldn't recommend using for this?
Gel.
Gel. No, put the Queen Helene away.
Do not use the gel. It's going to be crispy. It's going to look hard and plastered to her head. We don't want that look. We want something super soft and very sexy. Do not use the gel. No gel.
Looking beautiful, and again, just an incredible display of craftsmanship and technique. And you know, when you come in, you see you've got a model with hair an inch and shorter, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going to happen here? What's the lesson? And look at how much magic was done here, and that's all testament to being a craft hairdresser and working beautifully with the hands. And I have to say, I've seen this technique done quite a few times, but this is probably the most beautiful version I've seen. So there's
Wow.
obviously something special about the way that you do it here.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go back in this top though too.
So
Just
what are you
see-
seeing there? You just feel like it's
I
not...
see dryness.
Yeah.
I see a little dryness. So I'm going to get my wax stick. I just want it to be more polished, and I'm just going to take a little bit of stick, and then I'm going to take where those areas are where I put the stick. I'm going to get the iron and get more smoothing and more polished.
So you didn't feel like the wave was defined enough, shiny
No,
enough?
I didn't feel like it was like, see that piece? Now it's like more slip and slick and shiny. And that's the look that we want to create. And it's very detailed, you know. This is really a detailed situation here.
Naja, if people watching want to follow you and learn more from you, what's a good way for them to follow you? You have Instagram, Facebook, you do any
Yes.
classes?
Yes, I have. I'm on Instagram, Nija Like the River. Our salon is Like the River Salon on Instagram. And I actually teach. I'm an educator in the industry. I teach my techniques, i.e. these waves, Kelly cuts, the braid. I've come up with some amazing things that kind of went viral. And so we give classes all the time. And right now we have a class scheduled in New Orleans for the Bronner Brother Weekend Show. That's going to be Monday, April 1st. And we're going to be at Ringlet Salon in the French Quarters at the Hilton Hotel. And it's going to be amazing. So they can register at beautybeyondthehair.com.
All right, so that sounds great. A class in New Orleans, so you're going to have a great time while you're there.
Oh my
You're going to learn
God.
a lot.
Yes.
So that's on April 1st in New Orleans?
April 1st, it's a Monday.
And that's a full day class?
No, it's from 10 to 2.
10 to 2?
Yeah, 10 to 2.
And what could people expect to learn if they attend
They're
that class?
going to learn a perfect pixie cut and also the Kelly cut. And they can look at my website.
What's the Kelly cut?
The Kelly cut is this crazy cut. I
My
can't.
wife's named Kelly, so I'm interested.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. So if you look at it, it looks like a mohawk, but it's very technical on how I reach the cut. It was lots of diagonal cutting. We basically take all the sides off. We leave all of this hair, so it's like a diamond in the back and a diamond in the front. Graduation. And so you look like you have a tail. These are for the women who don't want to really commit to short hair, but they have all this short underneath, which is amazing.
So fun and edgy.
It's fun, edgy. I even did a Kelly cut challenge on. It went viral.
Sweet.
Viral. Like all the stylists, and I was posting all their work,
Awesome.
all their Kelly cuts. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think this is looking fantastic, and Naima looks even more beautiful than when
Yeah.
we started. Any finishing words now as you start to kind of finish up your look?
I just think that, find your niche. I think I found it in short hair, and this is what I love, and I think this is what I'm most great at. I don't try to master everything and be a master of all things. I do things that make me happy and satisfied, and this short hair is one that I love dearly. So.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us. I'm sure you got a busy weekend ahead of you being in New York. Anyone out there, the HVA6, it's officially sold out, but if you're joining us, it's going to be a great party. It's on Sunday night here in New York City. If you're in town for the IBS, I hope you'll be joining us. I want to thank Naja. I want to thank Naima, beautiful model, fantastic lesson here. Peace out, guys. We've got another HB Live later on today with Lupe Voss. We'll be down at the Aveda Institute doing some color. So if you've got nothing going on around 5 o'clock East Coast time, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.